And joining me now from Tel Aviv to break this down further is Oren Elimelech, the founder and CEO of Cyber Team 360 and a cybersecurity expert. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I'd like to start by asking you to explain to our viewers, perhaps those who don't know what is meant by cyber attacks and how they are specifically used here during the war.
So, great question. So during the war and before the war, the attacks were quite simple, unsophisticated, like taking down a website just for sightseeing or just changing the homepage. But during the war, we've seen a huge increase. And now the attacks are much more focused, okay? They're actually targeted to cause real damage to organization by several layering, whether this is denial of service attack, and as you mentioned, doing attack on disinformation, fake news, targeting hacktivists. Also, we've seen a huge increase on supply chain attack. They're targeting MSPs. So during the war, we've seen a huge increase, and now they're focusing on causing real damage. And as before, it was mostly on espionage, what is called as computer network exploitation, and now we're seeing computer network attacks. So yes, you've mentioned that the Israeli National Cyber Directorate has released a report just recently yesterday, and we can see that these attacks are quite similar to other events. If we're looking to the Russia-Ukraine war, and we've seen that cyber war, or a cyber attack is actually now integrated with a physical war, and they're working together. And this is causing real damage on the state of mind of people and also causing serious damage to organization during these supply chain attacks.
So, Oren, who exactly are these attacks attributed to? Are we looking at Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, possibly someone else, a combination? How do we track exactly who is behind some of these attacks?
So yes, during this, since 7th of October, we've seen numerous groups attack group threat actors, around 15 in the number, working in the cyberspace. Most of them are sharing information one with another and also tools. And yes, they're affiliated to Iran, Hamas, and Hezbollah. And they're targeting specific vectors, which is, for example, hosting companies, as I've mentioned, health sector, academy, transportation, cargo, transport, energy, supply chain for gas. And we've seen that the main attribution here is targeting these organizations is to have as much as a wide cast on various organizations, causing them serious damage that is a cascading effect. So if you're using a hosting company, transport, academy, where they're causing much more damage by targeting one specific company that is supporting dozens, if not hundreds, of other companies throughout Israel.
Israel is the high-tech nation. We know that we have a specialty and almost a very good specialty on a lot of cybersecurity and technology. With that being said, just how much can Israel fight this in the sense of trying to be tongue-in-cheek? If I remember correctly, at the beginning of the war, maybe about 3 weeks into it, it almost seemed like Israel turned what was the Hamas website in Belgium, if I'm not mistaken, to redirect the page to the IDF home site. So is this something that Israel can be doing? Obviously, this is no light matter, but is it something that Israel can be using in order to fight this? And just do they actually have the resources right now amid the war to be able to dedicate them to dealing with the cyber attacks?
Amazing question. Thank you. And yes, your memory is correct. So there is more than one front here, more than one domain here. One is what is Israel doing on the public facing. And in this regard, Israel, the Israeli National Cyber Directorate, is actually issuing security advisory for organization how to protect themselves. And this is just on the blue side of protecting organization and supporting this. And on the other side, there is what is publicly known that Israel is doing to attack cyber warfare on Iran, Hezbollah, and Hamas, and also behind the scene, what our intelligence sources are doing on these areas. So the mixture of everything is, yes, we're doing a lot of things. Some of them are attributed to Israel, some are not. Some of them are behind the scenes, some is public, but definitely we're in the game and we're fighting them very, very well.
Oren Elimelech, the founder and CEO of Cyber Team 360 and a cybersecurity expert. Thank you so much for taking the time and brilliantly breaking that down for so many of us that are not so clued up on cybersecurity.
Thank you.